Hello, my name is Julie and this is KS Mom Crochets, and today is a look inside and I've decided to do a look inside of the Crochet Monsters book by Megan Lapp, or also known as Crafty Intentions, on Etsy and other platforms. This book is amazing, I will say that. It's very heavy. It's a very hefty book. I will say this is definitely not a review video. I have made one monster out of this book, but I honestly don't know how anybody could do a full review on this book because there are so many options in here. It would take forever to make each and every piece that she provides in this book. I feel like that this is a wonderful reference book. It's also, I have a friend here through YouTube, Season, and she said it best. She said her books are a gateway to start designing, and I totally agree. It shows you how to make certain things, certain pieces, how that you can use your imagination to create your own pattern, basically just using her pieces as building blocks. I feel like that there's just not anything that I can say honestly except that this book is fabulous, and I definitely highly recommend it to anybody that enjoys the way that these creatures look. Now this video is going to be very hard to make, I do believe. I think that it's going to be very long. I'll try not for it to be, but there is 351 pages in this book. And before I started this video, I did take notes just because there's just so much to talk about. Like I said, there are so many options. You can really let your creativity just like run loose, your imagination run wild, create any kind of monster that you can think of. But you could also use these pieces on other projects too. So like if you're wanting to make something and you want to you don't like the way the arms are made, you could also come to this book and you know, pick parts to go on other amigurumi patterns that you have. I do, like I said, I feel like this book is an excellent resource. You know, I mean, the limit is just limitless, honestly. I don't feel like this is a beginner book, although I do feel like beginners could technically tackle this book. I feel like if I was to have got this book as a beginner, I would have been so overwhelmed by all the pieces, and there are certain techniques that she does in this book that I feel like that even me as a more, like, I feel like I'm kind of advanced and as far as crochet, because I've been crocheting for like, I don't even know, at least 10 years or longer, maybe 11, I'm not sure. There are certain pieces in this that are very beginner friendly, and then there's more advanced pieces that you could do. I don't really think that I'll have to look as I'm going through it, but I don't think that she has like a scale of like what's easiest and what's hardest. I don't think that it's set up that way. So like I said, I don't feel like this is a beginner book, but I'm not saying don't try it if you are a beginner. Some of her terms in this book are different. For instance, she uses different decrease method that I had never seen before until working some of her patterns. And I know that that is included in some of her other books as well. She does have a, what is it, like a glossary or like a, you know, that tells you what your abbreviations mean and how to do them. But when you're reading the pattern and you see that, it is very confusing because you're like, wait a minute, does she want me to do a regular decrease? Is that what that means? but then you have to be like, nope, that's not what she's talking about because my stitch count is wrong. Because even I had forgot that she did that. And so when I was creating my monster, I had to go and look and be like, okay, what is she talking about? So, like I said, she does use more advanced terms, some terms that I've never heard about that I've not seen other designers use, because, I mean, her techniques are just a little bit different and more advanced in some ways. Another thing that she does is she uses a slip stitch and a chain one after every single row, and I do not like that. If you like that, that's fine, perfect for you. Some people may prefer that. It's an easy way to keep from losing track of your rows. I don't see a reason to even use a stitch marker if you're doing it that way, but that technique does leave a seam, or like a running line. You can see it in your finished piece, and I just don't like that. I prefer to work in a continuous spiral, and that's just how that I've always done all of my amigurumis. I know that there are other designers that do that as well. I know Sarah Zimmerman is another one that does that. I just ignore it because it doesn't change anything. It's just stopping that row when you can just keep going with it. So whenever I'm doing her patterns or anybody's patterns that has a slip stitch chain one at the end of every row, I just pretend it's not even there and just keep going on with what she's telling me to do. She also staggers her increases and her decreases. And what that means is, in a standard pattern, or most people that write patterns, they have where it's just written out, 1 single crochet increase, 2 single crochet increase, 3 single crochet increase. With hers, it is written differently. For instance, it'll say single crochet 5 increase, and then for the next row it'll be single crochet 3 increase, single crochet 3. So basically you're doing single crochet 6 and then increase, but she's splitting it up to where that increase is in the middle and not at the end. That does make your finished piece look a lot better, but for me personally, it makes the rows, each row, different, and since I'm not used to doing it that way, I feel like it throws off my rhythm. Because usually when I'm reading patterns, I will read ahead and be like, okay, I need to increase up to 11, and so I'll do that many rows and then I'll go back to the pattern. And so I still do that with her patterns too. I don't do the staggered increase, but like I said, I know a lot of people prefer to do it that way because it does make your finished piece look so much better, especially if your tension is loose. It makes it less gappy. It makes it easier to where your stuffing doesn't show through and stuff. So it is a good technique. It's just not for me. That is all that I had wrote down in my notes. I feel like that's all that I came across in what little bit that I actually got into in this book. I only did 8 different like pieces for my project that I did, and that's just barely scratching the surface, like, because there's just so many options, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So I think my plan is with this book is just to go through and show you mostly pictures. That's what I'm going to do, and I will kind of talk about maybe a design process that might help you. I know that it helped me a lot, and it is provided in this book, so I will talk about that when I get to it. The first page that I see looks like this right here. The photography in this book is phenomenal. I absolutely love it. She did such an amazing job on the pictures in this book. Like, this book alone is worth having just to look at because there's so much to see. The next page is like, it tells you, you know, copyright information and all that. This is a Stack Pole Books, which I'm not sure if I have any of their books, except for, you know, ones that are made by her. But it does start out with like a contents page, And there's those cute pictures right there, which you do get bigger pictures throughout this book that you'll see later on. But it's just broke up into words. So you have like where your introduction is, your body options, and it just goes on for days. So this is like your index, basically, of the book. And I mean, there are 4 pages of index. And then it has an introduction page, and she is talking about what she uses to get the monsters that she creates. She uses a worsted weight yarn or a medium weight yarn for the bodies and you know, their attachments and stuff. There are some pieces in this book that she does use a sport weight yarn, which is significantly smaller than a worsted weight yarn, and it's just to scale it down. Now, I don't think you really have to do that, like that big of a difference. Like, you could probably use like a DK in a worsted weight yarn, because I did a DK in a sport weight and it worked out fine, because like I said, most of the time it's like for teeth that she uses sport weight for. She recommends a 4mm and a 3.25mm for that. She talks about safety eyes. She actually tells you where that she gets the safety eyes that she uses in this and on her monsters. She gets them from 2 places: Dark Side Crochet and Suncatcher Craft Eyes. Dark Side Crochet is UK based and Suncatcher is US based. So that's 2 different options for different parts of the world, but each one of these companies actually ship worldwide. So I do love that she did that. There's only one thing that she doesn't tell us that I would love to know. What yarn did she use? You know, like, I would really love to know at least a couple samples. I know that it would be really hard for as many of her designs that she showcases in this book, but I would really love to know some of the yarns that she uses for this book, or for the projects in this book, because it's just beautiful. On the next page, she has like a tips and tricks page right here that just tells you a little bit more information. I don't feel like it's super in-depth. I mean, some of that might be helpful, but I'm not really sure. I didn't read through that like in-depth. The next page is a monster planning sheet, and this thing right here is definitely what you need when creating your own monster. I would never probably write on this page, just because you want to make more than one, right? So you can copy this page, you know, like with a printer or something. But what I did, and this is just chicken scratch, you know, but I just took a piece of paper and I wrote it down. Now my daughter did, I drew my little design, she drew her design. Or what I was thinking a little bit better. She also drew that, which I may make one day with the horns. But I just jotted down what I was thinking and what page number they were on. And I used that the whole time that I was making my monster. And it was very helpful. It helped me so much to create a project out of this. So like I said, I would definitely use this page when creating your own monster, because it does help so much. Like, that is like an awesome thing that she provided to tell you all the different options. There is a glossary of terms, and I highly suggest using that because like I said earlier, there are some terms that she uses. I was trying to find the one. So there are some terms like that one right there, which is decrease and brackets, that are confusing. She has like a double crochet, half double crochet, decrease, but she breaks it down on each term what you're supposed to do. and writes it out for you to follow. So that is very, very helpful, considering that some of these terms are not commonly used in crochet patterns. So like I said, the glossary of terms and stitches are very important, and there are, 4 pages of those. And now we go into our options. Now, I can't remember how her other book was set up, but in this one, you have to actually go to each individual section within this whole book to find your pieces. And so what I did is I took tabs, and these are Avery mini tabs. They look like that, and they peel off very easily. And I tabbed every single section in this book. So that is how many sections there are. And I'm not even sure how many sections, like with a number, but it does tell you right here that there are 35 different body styles. And so this is one page of the body styles that you can do. And then here is another 2-page spread. This book is very heavy, so it's hard to hold it up. So there is more body options. So many. Like, it's crazy. You have cylinder bodies, egg-shaped bodies, open mouths, blob style, spear bodies. And then the last page is square bodies and eyeball monster bodies. Right there. So definitely an endless amount of pieces that you can create. And then here is this cute picture right here with that one with the ginormous tongue sticking out. I love, like I said earlier, I love her photography, but my favorite part is this right here, because in that little bubble or circle of each page with the monster on it, she tells you exactly what pieces that she used to create this monster. And so if you see, I have tabs here, and there's only a few, but I mean, there's a lot more monsters that I like than just these. But these are all the monsters that I liked, that I wanted to try to incorporate pieces from in future projects. So that is how I created this guy right here. And I love him. I love how he turned out. But I used those tabs. So I have tabs up here for the sections. And then I have tabs for different bodies or different monsters that she's created. And that's, like I said, how I created him. And how I decided what pieces that I wanted to make with him. But when I was creating him, the vision that I had in my head is not really how he turned out, because he kind of evolved as I was making him. Because the beauty of these patterns are that you can continue adding to them even after you feel like you're done. And that's what happened to him. I ended up making him have more detail on his face, giving him teeth when I didn't really wasn't really planning to do that. Eyelids, all that. There are so many different options that you can add to these, and even after he's done, like to me, he's done, I could still go back and add to him if I wanted to, because there are more pieces that could potentially go on this one project. So that is definitely the beauty of making this. But like I said, the way that she has this set up, telling you exactly what pieces that she used, it gives you an idea of what those pieces look like in crochet form, or come to life on an actual monster. And that, I feel like that's a great way to develop or come up with your own version of what you want to make. And then here is another one right here, and I love him. I think he's so cute. I do want to try to do one of the open mouth monsters. I don't know if I've ever actually made an open mouth amigurumi before. I can't remember. But I do love him. And his fingers and toes could be a little intimidating on him. But, like say you like this one, but you want to, you know, make his arms and legs different because that part scares you, there are other options in here that you can do that. So like I said, using her pictures as a guide, or even just recreating the ones that she's already made, is just awesome to do. I feel like that is the best way to tackle this book. There are a lot of repeat pictures in here. Like you may see the monsters more than once, and just a quick glance there, she does have more pictures within the patterns, but I'm not going to show you that. I'm only going to show you the big full page pictures or half page pictures that she has, just because this book is massive, and I don't want to give anything away, because this is just a work of art right here, and I would never want to disrespect the designer by accidentally giving away some of her patterns. And then here's another one. He's got his little mohawk. He's so cute. And like I said, all the safety eyes that you see, you can find them on those websites. I have looked at them. So I really do love that she shared where she got these eyes from. Like, they're just beautiful. Look how pretty that is. I know too that there are YouTube channels and different sources that will show you how to create your own eyes like that too, because I've watched videos like that. I just haven't tried to do it yet. I really love his little tongue. And her, like, she has tons of step-by-step pictures showing you how to crochet things together, sew things together. Like I said, if it wasn't for her in-depth or like not common stitches that she uses, I would say, oh yes, the beginner could do this, just because she breaks it down so well. But just because I feel like some of the designs in this is a little bit more advanced, I do feel like that you need to practice amigurumi and pattern reading for a while before you tackle this book. I love the color choices too. I feel like looking at her pictures, it gives you a like a color palette as well. Like, and that's another reason that I chose like a solid with a variegated, is because I seen her do that in her books. I love this guy right here. I really would like to make one similar to him. I love his tail. Like, he has like a lion tail. So cute. I love him. And I like this guy right here. I really love the yarns. Like I said, I really would love to know what yarn that she used to make it. And here's like a 2-page spread. Like, each one, there's only a couple monsters in here that I'm like, oh, I don't know if I would make that or not. But there's just so many options that it's hard not to fall in love with so many of them. Like, some of them are kind of derpy looking. I don't think any of them are really scary. They're all just really cute. You got like a 3-eyed one. And then, you know, earlier she had I'm sure it'll pop back up again, but she had one that had 3 eyes, like safety eyes across too. And then here is like a 2-page spread. And like, we're still in the bodies, guys. We're still in the bodies. Like, the bodies take up the majority of this book. I have this guy right here, which is one of my favorites. I know there's a bigger picture of him. I love this guy. And then you have that guy. I love his body shape. He looks very muscular to me. And then there's that guy that looks kind of like a frog. Gives me frog vibes, like a frog monster. And then this one that's kind of got like a pig vibe. A pig or a bull. I love this little guy too, with just the circle body. I want to make one of the circle bodies too. Like, there's so many that I want to do. Another thing that she does is she does give some of her pieces these metal claws, metal spikes. Me personally, I would probably never do that. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with it or anything. I don't know if I like the way that looks. I would have to see that in person, but you definitely couldn't do anything like that and give it to a child, which she does say that in this book, though. She does say that it's not recommended for children. I'm pretty sure I read that. And then there's that one. And like I said, we're still in the bodies. There's square bodies. Most of the time when she does a piece, she will show a monster made up with one of those pieces, I do believe. And there's another one that looks kind of like a bunny, but it looks kind of like a frog bunny. It's got like frog legs, kind of. There's that guy. I like him too. I like this. I like the square bodies. There's that guy. And like I said, some of these pictures may end up being repeats, because I do know there's several pages, you know, that might have the same monster on it. And then here's a double page. I love the curly cued hair on that one. Like I said, some of them look a little derpy to me. That other one's like swinging from the monkey bars. She's so creative in her photography too. Like, that has to be one of her hobbies as well, just because she did such a great job on it. That guy. And then here is like a spider monster. Now that is one of the monsters that I probably would never make. I do not like spiders, even in crochet form. So I probably would never make that one. But I think that's the only like one that I've seen in here that I probably wouldn't make. I think that's the end of the body section, and now we're into eyes. And there are your eye options right there. So there are quite a few different eyes. She does, in case you didn't see, she does give you a crocheted version of that big eyeball too, which is really nice. That way, if you don't have safety eyes, or you're giving this to a small child, you do have a crocheted eye option. And I really appreciated that, you know, being part of her pattern process. There's that guy playing with yarn. And then here's that guy with this big arm there. He's just waving. I actually like the two eyeballs like that. I like that. I think that I would make one like that eventually. And then you have this guy right here that is eating bubbles, trying to catch the bubbles. And now we're into mouths for no mouth bodies. And there are 5 options there. So these pieces you crochet separately and sew them on. So in her body options, she does have some that have mouths built into the body. But like for this guy right here, I gave him the underbite. So I actually crocheted his mouth, or sewed his mouth on instead of it being part of his body. So there's that frog guy again. There's a square guy with a mouth sewed on. And like I said, I really love how she uses different colors. Really gives you ideas for that. And here's a 2-page spread there. Again. And now we're into the feet section. So it looks like that. So these are different, like I said, she does have bodies that have the feet made into the body, like this one right here. But these are ones that are separate. So you would crochet them separate and sew them on. There's that guy with lots of toes. And then here is that one with the big eye. I do like that guy right there. He's different. I don't know how soon, like I probably would make different ones before I tackled that one, but I do like him. And like looking at the process of how to make that big eyeball is interesting to me. And now we're into another section, which is called limbs. And like, as you can tell, some of these sections are really close together, so it's easy to skip them. So that's why I encourage using tabs in this book, because, you know, you could miss a section when you're trying to find what pieces you want to do. Some of these limbs can be used as arms or as legs. So they are interchangeable, which is nice. And then here is another page of more limbs. So there's quite a few options in this one. And then you have that guy right there. And we're about halfway through the book now, I think. I love that kitty cat monster. I love him so much. Like, he is on my radar. He kind of gives you like saber-tooth tiger vibes with the cat vibes. I really like him. And then here's that one. And like I said, I just love the yarn that she used. Like, I really just want to know what yarn. Like, there's some yarn in here that I feel like could be Line Brand Landscapes yarn, but I could be wrong. But some of it looks like Line Brand Landscapes. And like I said, there's step-by-step pictures in every single pattern. Like, she really breaks it down for you, I feel like. Yeah, there's that frog guy again. So like I said, there are pictures of multiple times of each monster. So if there was one that you wanted to make that was exactly like how she did it, you could go through here and find multiple different angles of that one monster and make it. Now this page is like a landscape page of the spider monsters. And like I said, I really probably would never make those. Somebody out there would love those. Like, I could see a, you know, some people really enjoying making that, but for me, I don't like spiders. And then here is that one. That page. I like it when she has multiple ones on each page, but I really love the full page spreads too. And then there's that guy again. And like I said, even if it's a repeat picture, she still tells you what she used for each one. I really like him too. He's cute. And then you have this guy, a bigger picture of him because we have seen him before. And like I said, I do like the 3 eyes on that. I think that that's really cool. I think I gravitate more toward the two eyes that are made like that, but I do like the 3. And then there's that guy right there. And there's that one. And like I said, I mean, she has more pictures of monsters in here too. I just can't show them without showing the patterns. And that guy right there has like a rainbow. I really like him. Like I said, her color choices, she really does like kind of get your creativity flowing just by looking at her pictures. That guy with the big long legs. And then there's that pig looking bull. I don't know if I gravitate toward that. I mean, he's just kind of funny looking. I don't know. But this one right here is adorable. Like, I love the little bunny monster. He looks so sweet. Like, he needs a little teddy bear in his arms. Because he looks like just a little baby. Then you have that guy. So those are very extremely different from each other. And then there's the guy with the tongue sticking out again. Here's this guy with the big long reptile tail. I really like him. I almost did a tail like that and I didn't. I changed my mind. Here is another four monster spread. Showing, and like I said, it's showing different angles of some of them that you may not have seen in other pictures. And then here's that guy. And like, there's so many pages to this book that it's easy to like forget that you've already seen that one too. But I've looked through this book so many times that some of them I really remember. And now we're finally into another section, and it is the back scales section. And that is like your spikes. So she has 4 different spikes that you can add. I do like that they are made in a continuous strip that you can just sew on. And then there's that 4 monster spread there on that page. And like I said, this is one of the spikes that's in the book. And you just make a long chain, the length that you need for your particular monster. And you know, you just do what she says. She does tell you like the size of each, like the size of each one of these on each one of them, so that you can kind of guess. But these are so quick to make that even if you got it too long or too, you know, whatever, you could really figure out how to make it unique and fit your piece. But she does give you like the option of like how long hers is, and then you can kind of go by that. Here's the back of that guy with the long reptile tail. And then you go into the tail section next. And there's that guy again. And I did do that tail for this guy right here. That's what it looks like in a DK weight. I wish I could show you some of the pictures that are in these because they're really good. And then there's that guy. And then here's that one. Again, with he has like a lion tail. It's fuzzy at the end. And you brush it out, I think. Yeah. And then the next section is ears. So there's that guy right there. And here's this one. So she made multiples of that one and like put it all around his head, I think. And then there's that guy. Here's another eyeball monster. He looks kind of like an alien to me. An alien monster. And then here's this cute picture. He's got like straight up bunny ears. I like him too. And then there's that guy. The floppy bunny ears. And then here's him. And then there's that guy again. I remember seeing him. Well, like I said, we've probably seen all these multiple times. There's that guy tangled up in the yarn again. And that right there kind of looks like Premier's mosaic yarn. A little bit to me. I mean, I could be wrong, but that looks like that. And then antennas is the next option, and there are 4 different antennas. And here's that guy, and he's chewing up the Impkins book because, you know, obviously they came out with that book before this one. So he's saying, oh, it's time for a new one. And then there's that. Look at that spider with he has a mohawk, a fluffy mohawk. It's funny. And then the next section is horns, and there are a lot of options for this. So there are the different options for the horns. So you have those. And then you have those. And I try to keep the glare off of this. I just don't know how well I'm doing. And then there's the eyeball monster again. He has no arms, just legs. And then there's 2 more. And there is a 4-page spread. That guy right there looks a little scary to me. But I like all of them except for those spider ones. I can't do that. And then there's that guy with like a sideways mohawk hair. I actually like the hair. I thought about doing that on mine that I made, but I changed my mind. I felt like the spikes were enough. The horns, I feel like some of them are like extremely detailed in like such a small space. So they're a little intimidating for me. I'm not saying that I couldn't do it. I'm just saying that it really cramps your fingers. Because what was I doing? The arms. I think I was just doing the arms on that monster that I showed right here, and I had to change them a little bit to make them a little bit bigger because it was cramping my fingers so bad. There's that guy on the monkey bars again, hanging upside down. And then here's this guy. And then these three, or two, these two. And then there's these three. I like how on this one right here, she used two different colors for the horns. I think that's interesting. She also did it on this one too. But that one's like a, I don't know how that's made, but I really like that too. Oh, it's surface crochet, I think. And then the next section is hair or hairstyles. So this is where she gets her mohawks and all that from. Got your curly cues there. Your like poofy hairstyle. That cute picture right there. There's not a lot of pictures in that one that I can show you. And then here are the teeth options. And I did end up making like 3 of these teeth and only deciding on one. They work up so quickly that it's easy to make a couple different ones and then figure out which one that you wanted. So I narrowed it down to like 3, but I couldn't decide because some of them are very similar. And, you know, I just tried them on, pinned them, and then I decided on those. And then here is that guy. He's got 4 teeth. Like, you could add more. Like, if you like the way she did one and you wanted it like separated more like she did on another one, you could add more and like build off of her design too with the teeth. That guy, I really like him. I don't know if it's the yarn she used, but he just looks so sweet. There's that guy. And then there's the 4-page spread again. And like I said, I really do love that little kitty guy. I think he's adorable. And this guy right here with like a bunch of teeth. And I think you can add these to any of them. Like the ones that don't have a mouth, like the bodies that don't have a mouth or the bodies that do have a mouth. You can add the teeth to any of them. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. I like that guy too. And then there's that guy. Here's another 4-page or 4-picture spread. There's the spider again. The next section is bellies. So you have 3 different belly options. There. And then here is showing a few of them. So you have like a pocket belly, almost like a kangaroo pouch, and then like a circle, and then that guy right there has a little bit different one. And then you have 2 options for claws in the next section. So I think one is like kind of embroidered and then one is like crocheted. That guy, his claws. And then you have your options for tongues. So you have quite a few different tongues. I like the tongues, but then again, I don't. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about them. Some of the patterns I prefer without a tongue, but then some of them are cute. Like, I think that guy's tongue is kind of cute. I don't really like the like snake tongue very much. But some of them are cute. I guess it just depends on what vibe you're going for, you know, with your monster. There's that guy with the forked tongue with his 3 eyes and his horns. And you got this guy. So like this one's kind of more sweet looking, like a little being a little cheeky or something, you know. This is the last options, and it is extras and faces is what it's called. So that's what that looks like. So she has like different I guess like muzzle type things, like eyelash spikes, sutures, and how to do like embroidered eyebrows. And there are pictures of monsters in that section, but I can't really show you because of the way that they are placed in the pattern. But that is like the end of the book. And then it goes into acknowledgments. And then these are her other 2 books, which I do have both of them. I just haven't done look-insides for them yet. So the Empkins book, in case you're not familiar, is set up very similar to this. You have your mix and match parts like you do on this one. Great reference guide. It's got hats and all that stuff. I feel like you could take pieces from the Empkins and put on your monsters. I could be wrong, but I really do feel like you could probably get away with doing that. And then this one is kind of like a setup like this, to where the way that it's set up, but it's just straight out patterns basically. But she does give you kind of like a loose guideline on different parts. And then you have like the big extravagant animals, or like creatures that she's made, like the big dragons and the phoenix and all that. And then here is the back of the book. And so, like I said, this book is huge. It is gorgeous inside. I love to just sit and look through it. I really need to just sit down and take notes of all the different ideas that I have for this book so that I don't forget. But like I said, if you get this book, or if you have it, definitely get your pen and paper ready. You know, sit down and jot down ideas. And I know we're all not artists. I'm definitely not. But I still did a tiny little sketch, kind of trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And it did help me. Even though my sketch was horrible, because I know a lot of you all may not have people in your life that can draw what you're thinking onto paper. But even just doing like a little tiny sketch yourself is a great way to help too. And like I said, these tabs are a lifesaver because it's easy for some of these sections to get lost. And that way you don't have to constantly flip back to the beginning of the book to her contents, because that's what I was having to do. And I was like, I'm not doing this no more. I'm getting me some tabs. And I will have them linked below, as well as this book, so that you can check them out. So that's all that I have for you all. I hope that you enjoyed this very long look through this book. Hopefully I can edit it down so it's not too long. But I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, guys, I will see you in another video. Bye.